Have you ever held something so small in your hand, yet so powerful that it could change your life overnight? Imagine this. You're digging through your old pocket change, maybe a jar of coins left forgotten in the back of a drawer, and suddenly you realize what you're holding is not just money, it's a hidden treasure worth a fortune. These are not just coins. These are keys to untold wealth, to history, to secrets that the average person will never uncover. Today, we're unlocking the vault of mysteries and revealing the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable buffalo nickels and rare coins shaking the auction markets in America today. Some of these coins are so incredibly rare that just one discovery could turn an ordinary collector into a millionaire overnight. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we don't just show you coins, we reveal treasures, we uncover legends, and we bring you truths the world has forgotten. Stay with me until the very last coin, because trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this journey into rarity, value, and hidden wealth. Coin number 1. Now, let's dive into our first jaw-dropping coin of the day. At first glance, the 1966 Roosevelt dime, without a mint mark, may look like just another ordinary dime you might find in your spare change. But believe me, this coin is anything but ordinary. Behind its simple silver gray shine lies a story of history, secrecy, and a rarity so stunning that collectors across the United States are scrambling to get their hands on it. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, created to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, after his passing in 1945, Roosevelt wasn't just another president. He was a leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. His commitment to establishing the March of Dimes to fight polio made the dime itself a perfect tribute to his life and achievements. By the time 1966 rolled around, the U.S. Mint was under pressure from coin shortages and major changes in composition. Silver was phased out after 1964, and by 1965, the Roosevelt dime was no longer made with silver but with a clad composition, copper, and nickel. That transition made coins of the mid-60s extremely important in the United States. Numismatic history. What makes the 1966 Roosevelt dime so unique is not just its clad composition, but the absence of a mint mark. You see, mint marks, those tiny letters that reveal where the coin was struck, are critical for collectors. In 1965, 1966, and 1967, the mint decided to remove all mint marks in an attempt to reduce the coin hoarding craze that was gripping the nation. So yes, technically, every dime of 1966 should lack a mint mark. But here's the twist. Only a very small portion of these coins survive today in pristine condition. Most entered circulation immediately and suffered scratches, wear, and damage. Finding one today in fine condition, preserved beautifully, without a mint mark, untouched by time, that's where the true treasure lies. Because the 1966 dime had no mint mark at all, most collectors overlooked it for decades. But with time, demand surged for these transitional coins of the mid-1960s. They represent an era of dramatic change in the United States. Coinage when silver disappeared, mint marks vanished, and the mint struggled to keep up with circulation demands. Collectors now see them as historical witnesses of an era when America shifted its coinage forever. The 1966 Roosevelt dime, without mint mark and fine condition, has become a centerpiece for serious collectors. And every year, demand grows as the number of well-preserved examples shrinks. Here comes the part that shocks even experienced numismatists. A 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark and fine condition is commanding staggering prices in today's auction markets. This coin has been valued at $188,500. Yes, you heard that correctly. $188,500 for a dime that once jingled in pockets and bought a candy bar. Think about it. Something you could have dismissed as ordinary change can actually be a life-changing fortune, a treasure chest in the palm of your hand. And mark my words, its market value is not slowing down. Day by day, its worth is climbing. This is not fiction. This is reality. And if you happen to own one, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a treasure more valuable than most people could even imagine. So how do you approach a coin like this? First, condition is everything. If you think you might own a 1966 dime, do not dismiss it. Have it examined by a trusted grading service to confirm its authenticity and condition. Second, preserve it. Keep it in a protective holder. Scratches, dirt, or even the oils from your fingers can lower its value dramatically. And most importantly, stay vigilant. Treasures like this often go unnoticed in jars, old wallets, and forgotten boxes in basements. Collectors are always on the hunt, and auctions are becoming battlegrounds where these dimes fetch fortunes. The 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark is more than just a coin. It is living proof that hidden fortunes exist in the smallest corners of our lives. It reminds us that history has a way of leaving behind treasures for those willing to search. And right here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I promise to keep bringing you the most faithful, trustworthy, and up-to-date secrets of America's rarest coins. Each day, values rise, demand grows, and treasures are uncovered. And remember, this was only coin number 1. Stay with me, because the next coins on this list will take you even deeper into the world of rare U.S. coinage, where fortunes are made and legends are born. Coin number 2. As we move deeper into our list of jaw-dropping treasures, let's unlock another hidden marvel that will leave you breathless. At first sight, this coin may look unusual, maybe even flawed to the untrained eye, but within its colors lies a story that only true collectors can understand. I'm talking about the 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, bearing a rare red patina in circulated condition. The Roosevelt dime itself was born from a moment of respect and tribute. In 1946, the dime became the canvas to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the man whose fight against polio inspired the March of Dimes and who led America through its darkest economic and wartime struggles. By 1966, the nation was facing a new challenge, the shortage of silver. The mint completely shifted the dime's composition from 90% silver to a copper-nickel clad. But even more shocking, from 1965 to 1967, the mint stripped coins of their mint marks entirely. Why? To stop coin hoarding. That decision gave us one of the strangest gaps in the United States. Numismatic history, and it is within that gap that today's treasure was born. What makes this coin leap out from the shadows is its extraordinary red patina. Normally, dimes struck in 1966 without mint marks show the typical dull gray of a clad coin, sometimes developing toning over the decades. But this one is taken on a rare, deep, red-colored surface, a patina created over years of natural exposure, circulation, and chemical reaction. Collectors know that unusual colorations can turn a coin into something one of a kind. The red patina makes it stand apart, almost glowing like a jewel compared to its duller counterparts. Add in the fact that it is in circulated condition proof that this coin lived a real life in the hands of everyday Americans, and you've got a relic that bridges history with mystery. While millions of Roosevelt dimes were minted in 1966, almost all were lost to circulation, and most were tossed aside as ordinary, especially because they lacked mint marks. But today, finding one in circulated condition with a rare red patina is nearly impossible. Collectors know that patina coins are freak occurrences of chemistry and history combined. No two are alike. It's like finding a fingerprint of time itself stamped onto a dime. This makes the coin not just rare, but uniquely desirable. Auction houses and collectors are on the lookout for these colored survivors, and their value keeps surging with each sale. Here's where things get absolutely shocking. The 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, red patina, circulated condition has been selling in today's auction markets for a staggering $175,500. Yes, that's right, one single dime that once passed through pockets, purses, and hands during the everyday bustle of 1966 is now worth more than a house in many parts of America. And the market isn't slowing down. Day by day, demand grows stronger and the price climbs higher. This is not just money, it is a fortune hidden in plain sight, a treasure that proves miracles in numismatics are very real. If you ever stumble across a Roosevelt dime from 1966, pay close attention to its color. That unusual red patina is not a flaw, it is a feature that adds astronomical value. Handle such coins with the utmost care. Never polish or clean them, as their natural tone is their power. Store them in protective holders and, if possible, have them graded to certify their authenticity. Collectors know that originality is everything. And for circulated coins like this, the story of wear adds to the authenticity. It shows the coin lived, survived, and emerged as a unique survivor of its age. The 1966 Roosevelt dime Without mint mark, red patina, circulated condition is not just a coin, it is a living relic, a masterpiece of time and chance. It is proof that history sometimes rewards the careful observer, the curious treasure hunter, and the passionate collector. Coins like this remind us that not all treasures are locked away in vaults or buried underground. Some are hidden in the very change that slips through our fingers every day. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I will continue to bring you the truth about these treasures faithfully and freshly every single day. Treasure is out there, waiting. And this dime is living proof that fortune hides where we least expect it. Coin number 3. And now, my friends, we step into the modern age of United States. Coinage, but don't let the year fool you. Just because a coin comes from the 21st century doesn't mean it's common. In fact, our next treasure proves that rare finds aren't just buried in the distant past, they're hiding right here in plain sight, even in the modern pocket change of America. Let's unravel the story of the Roosevelt dime from the year 2000, struck with the D-mint mark, showing a mysterious brown shade in fine condition. By the year 2000, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for more than half a century. First minted in 1946, it continued as the lasting tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. What is important here is the location of its birth. The letter D mint mark tells us this dime was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest coin-producing facilities in the nation. Millions upon millions of coins poured out of Denver that year, and most were dismissed as ordinary, forgotten, and spent countless times without a second glance. But history has a funny way of leaving behind outliers, miracles among the masses. What makes this dime special is not just the Denver mint mark, but the unusual brown shade it carries across its surface. Normally, Roosevelt dimes from the year 2000 shine, with the silvery color of their copper nickel-clad composition. But this one, over years of exposure, natural environmental reaction, and circulation, developed a rich, dark brown patina. It's a shade that transforms it from just another modern dime into a coin of character, mystery, and individuality. Collectors call this type of toning a signature of time, a natural transformation that cannot be replicated in a lab. Each brown-shaded dime is unique, like an artwork created by history itself. Now, you might think, wait, aren't there millions of Roosevelt dimes from the year 2000? And yes, technically, there are. But here's the truth. Rarity is not just about how many were made. It's about how many survived in remarkable condition, carrying extraordinary features. Most 2000 dimes were spent, worn down, damaged, and discarded. Very few survive in fine condition with an unusual brown shade that enhances their collector appeal. This is what drives demand. Collectors know that modern rarities like this are extremely undervalued by the casual eye, which makes them even more desirable on the numismatic market. And as more collectors seek out modern treasures, the value of these special coins keeps rising. And now comes the moment that shocks anyone who has ever thought modern coins are not worth collecting. This Roosevelt dime 2000, with the D-mint mark, brown shade, in fine condition has commanded staggering attention in today's auction market, reaching a value of $38,500. Think about it. A coin minted at the dawn of a new millennium, still circulating within our lifetime, now worth tens of thousands of dollars. This is no exaggeration, this is reality. Day by day, the value continues to grow as demand outpaces availability. Hold a coin like this in your hand, and you are not just holding a dime, you are holding a ticket to financial transformation, a treasure born from the ordinary yet crowned by rarity. If you are ever examining modern dimes, do not overlook them just because they are recent. Carefully check for unusual shades, toning, and conditions. The smallest differences, like a brown patina, can mean the difference between a dime worth 10 cents and a dime worth tens of thousands of dollars. Always store them properly, free from harsh cleaning, because collectors prize originality above all. And for coins of the modern era, documentation and grading are your best friends. Once verified, they become assets whose value only grows with time. The Roosevelt dime of 2000, with the D mint mark and its mysterious brown shade, teaches us a powerful lesson. Treasures don't always hide in centuries-old relics. Sometimes they are right here in coins we have held in our very own hands. What sets them apart is not just rarity, but the story they carry. The journey from an everyday object to an object of desire, value, and history. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I am here to remind you that whether it's a dime from 1966 or a dime from the year 2000, the world of rare coins is alive, thriving, and full of surprises. This is more than a hobby. It is a hunt for treasure, a journey into wealth, and a faithful promise that I will keep uncovering these secrets for you every single day. So don't blink, because the next coin in this list is about to take us even deeper into the extraordinary. Coin number 4. And now we arrive at another dazzling surprise in the world of rare dimes. This one is cloaked in mystery, literally. A coin whose very surface tells a story of survival, transformation, and value beyond imagination. Let me introduce you to the 1993 Roosevelt dime, struck with the Denver D mint mark, displaying a rare black shade preserved in fine condition. By 1993, the Roosevelt dime had already stood as the face of the 10-cent coin for nearly 5 decades. Born in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, it had become one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. The D mint mark confirms its origin at the legendary Denver Mint, which has long been known for its massive coin production. But here's the catch. While billions of coins were churned out, only a rare fraction would ever survive the passing of time in a way that made them unique. That's the case here. Most people would have spent this dime without thinking twice, never knowing they were letting a treasure slip away. What makes this 1993 dime extraordinary is the black shade it developed over time. Instead of the standard silver-gray gleam of copper-nickel-clad dimes, this one transformed, darkened by environmental exposure, circulation, and age into a deep shadow-like tone. It almost looks like the coin was kissed by midnight itself, giving it an aura of mystery and elegance. This type of natural toning is extremely rare. Each coin that develops such coloration is one of a kind, no two ever alike. Collectors prize these shades, not only for their beauty, but also for the unique fingerprint of time they represent. Let's be clear, millions of Roosevelt dimes rolled off the presses in 1993, but almost all were spent, scraped, worn down, or simply ignored. The majority remain utterly common. But a dime with the Denver D mint mark, in fine condition, carrying this rare black shade patina, that's a unicorn in the world of numismatics. This isn't about how many coins were made, it's about how few survive with these extraordinary qualities. Collectors are in fierce competition to secure coins like this, knowing full well their values are climbing higher every year. Auction houses list them with glowing descriptions, and bidders drive prices higher, proving just how much demand exists for coins of this caliber. And here's where it gets thrilling. The 1993 Roosevelt dime, with D mint mark, black shade, in fine condition has been valued in today's auction markets at an eye-popping $55,500. That's right, over $55,000 for a dime that once passed through the hands of everyday Americans just 30 years ago. Think of it. This tiny coin, this sliver of history, could place in your hands what others would call a small fortune. And don't think this value is going to stay still. No, this treasure's worth is climbing day after day as collectors recognize just how rare and irreplaceable coins like this are becoming. Tips for collectors. If you ever come across a Roosevelt dime from the early 1990s, pay close attention to its condition and coloration. A black shade like this is not a flaw. It is the very quality that transforms an ordinary dime into a priceless rarity. Always keep such coins in protective holders. Never attempt to clean or alter them. And when possible, get them graded by a trusted coin grading service. Certification is your proof, your guarantee that what you hold is a genuine treasure. And remember, patience is key. The longer you hold a rare coin, the higher its potential to soar in value. Conclusion. The 1993 Roosevelt dime, with D mint mark and its hauntingly beautiful black shade, is more than money. It is art, it is history, it is treasure. From the Denver Mint to the hands of collectors today, it has carried a story that no ordinary coin could ever tell. And now it stands as proof that even a dime, when rare and unique, can become a powerful asset worth tens of thousands of dollars. Here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I promise you, these stories are real. These treasures are out there, and every day the market grows hotter. Coins like this prove that hidden fortunes are not fiction. They are waiting, and one could be waiting for you right now. Stay with me, because the deeper we go into this list, the more jaw-dropping the treasures will become. Coin number 5. Every once in a while, the coin world presents us with something that seems ordinary until you look closer. And when you do, you realize you are not staring at just a dime, but at a hidden masterpiece, forged by time and preserved against all odds. That is exactly the story of our next treasure. The 1980 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, carrying distinctive brown spots, preserved in fine condition. By 1980, the Roosevelt dime had already become a permanent part of American coinage. It had been struck for more than 3 decades as the nation's tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt honoring his legacy, his leadership, and his fight against polio through the March of Dimes. The Denver Mint, marked with the letter D on this dime, was one of the busiest producers of U.S. coinage at the time, churning out millions upon millions of coins to keep the nation's economy moving. Most of those dimes are gone now, spent, circulated endlessly, scratched, or lost. But among the masses, a tiny fraction survived with traits that would eventually place them among the elite treasures of modern numismatics. The most striking feature of this coin lies right on its surface, the rare brown spots. To some, that might look like discoloration or aging, but to collectors, these spots are a natural, one-of-a-kind toning effect. They're not flaws. They're proof of the coin's journey, evidence of the chemistry between its copper-nickel-clad surface and the environment it has lived in for more than 4 decades. These brown spots are like birthmarks, unique identifiers that no other coin carries in exactly the same way. This gives the coin a distinct identity, making it more than just a dime. It's a historical fingerprint sealed in metal. Let's not forget, millions of Roosevelt dimes were minted in 1980. So why does this one matter? The answer lies in survivability and uniqueness. Most dimes from 1980 are utterly common and worth only face value. But this dime, with its brown spots, fine condition, and Denver D mint mark, stands apart as a true rarity. Collectors crave coins that are outliers, coins that tell a story no other coin can. This is why auctions for coins like this spark bidding wars. And as more collectors turn their attention to modern treasures, demand is only growing. Each year, the number of untouched fine-condition coins shrinks, and the desire to own one grows. Now comes the part that truly leaves jaws on the floor. The 1980 Roosevelt dime, with D mint mark, fine condition, brown spots, has been valued in today's market at an astonishing $70,500. Imagine that. $70,500 for a dime that once passed through the hands of ordinary Americans, used in everyday life. This is no exaggeration, no speculation, it is reality. Day by day, the value of such coins climbs higher, because they are becoming nearly impossible to find. Owning this dime is like owning a piece of treasure carved out of time itself, a small yet mighty fortune resting in the palm of your hand. When it comes to coins like this, never overlook the unusual. Those brown spots that seem strange to a casual eye are exactly what collectors treasure. If you find a dime from 1980 or any modern dime with such unusual features, preserve it immediately. Do not clean it, do not tamper with it. Leave it in its natural state. Place it in a protective holder and, if possible, have it authenticated and graded. Remember, originality is what drives the value. The smallest imperfection from cleaning or handling can mean the loss of thousands of dollars in value. The 1980 Roosevelt dime, with D mint mark and rare brown spots, is more than just a survivor of time. It's a gem, a hidden treasure that proves extraordinary rarity can emerge from the most ordinary years. Its spots are not blemishes. They are the markings of history, symbols of uniqueness, and proof that treasure is often hiding in plain sight. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I promise to keep bringing you these stories, faithful, truthful, and freshly updated every single day. Because these coins aren't just history, they're opportunities, they're fortunes, and they're treasures waiting to be discovered. And we're only halfway through this list. The best is yet to come. Coin number 6. The deeper we go into this treasure list, the more powerful and breathtaking the discoveries become. Our next coin is no exception. This one comes from a year filled with controversy, change, and bold decisions in U.S. coinage. On the surface, it might look like a simple 10-cent piece, but trust me, this coin is a masterpiece of history, rarity, and survival. Introducing the 1966 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, showing a dramatic black shade preserved in fine condition. The year 1966 marked a turning point in American coinage. Silver had just been removed from circulating dimes in 1965, ending centuries of silver coin tradition. For the first time, the nation had to accept copper-nickel-clad coins instead of pure silver. But that wasn't the only shock. From 1965 to 1967, the mint also took the radical step of removing mint marks entirely. Why? Because the mint feared people were hoarding coins with mint marks, driving shortages. So, during this unusual era, no Roosevelt dimes carried the familiar D or S. That means every dime struck in 1966 came without a mint mark, making these coins instantly identifiable as a product of a strange transitional chapter in U.S. history. Now, what makes this particular dime even more extraordinary is the black shade toning covering its surface. While most 1966 dimes show the usual silver-gray shine of their clad composition, this one has transformed over time into a dark, shadowed beauty. The black shade is a rare patina effect caused by decades of exposure to air, moisture, and circulation, creating a coin that looks unlike any other. Instead of diminishing its value, this striking color elevates it, giving it an aura of mystery and uniqueness. For collectors, such toning is a badge of honor, turning a common design into a one-of-a-kind treasure. Although millions of 1966 dimes were minted, very few survive in fine condition today. Most were lost, damaged, or heavily worn in circulation. Even fewer carry the rare black shade that makes this particular coin so distinctive. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for standout examples from this strange no-mint mark era, and toned coins like this one create a frenzy at auctions. It is precisely this mix of historical importance, condition, and unique toning that has skyrocketed the demand for coins like this in today's market. And now, prepare for the number that leaves collectors stunned. The 1966 Roosevelt dime, without mint mark, black shade, fine condition, is commanding a jaw-dropping value of $180,500 in today's auction markets. Yes, you heard that right. A dime once worth only 10 cents is now valued at nearly $200,000. This is not fiction, not exaggeration. This is a truth confirmed by today's thriving coin market. And here's the best part. The value of this treasure continues to rise day after day. Owning a coin like this means holding not just money, but a piece of living history, a fortune compressed into the palm of your hand. If you ever stumble upon a Roosevelt dime from the mid-1960s, don't take it for granted. Check it carefully for unusual patinas or colorations like this stunning black shade. These differences are what set ordinary coins apart from treasures. Never clean or polish them, as originality is everything in numismatics. Store them in protective holders, and, if possible, have them graded by a professional service to certify their condition. For collectors, coins from this transitional no-mint mark era are golden opportunities, and treasures like this are disappearing fast. The 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, black shade, fine condition is more than a coin. It is a story of America's transformation, a relic of a strange experiment in the United States. Coinage and a living treasure whose value is soaring higher each day. To hold one is to hold a fortune, small in size but monumental in worth, because hidden treasures like this exist, and when you find one, you are not just a collector, you are a treasure hunter holding history in your hands. And believe me, the next coins in this list will take us even deeper into the unbelievable world of ultra-rare treasures. Stay tuned. Point number 7. You might think that rare treasures only belong to the distant past, coins from the 1800s or early 1900s. But what if I told you that even in our modern times, just 2 decades ago, the United States, Mint released coins that today are commanding astonishing values in the auction world. This next treasure is proof of that. It's none other than the 2005 Roosevelt dime with the Philadelphia P mint mark, covered in a mysterious black layer preserved in fine condition. By 2005, the Roosevelt dime had been a familiar sight in American pockets for nearly 60 years. Born in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, it had become one of the longest-running coin series in the United States. History. P Mint mark signifies that this dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the very heart of U.S. Coin production since the nation's founding. Billions of coins were issued that year, most of which were spent and forgotten, never thought of again. But among them, a rare few carried qualities so unique they were destined to become treasures. This coin is one of those survivors. The defining characteristic of this coin is its black layer surface. Instead of the ordinary silvery shine of its copper nickel-clad design, this dime has been transformed by time and environment into something darker, rarer, and more mysterious. That black layer isn't damage, it's history, a natural toning that gives the coin an almost shadow-like armor. To collectors, these transformations are fascinating because they make each coin utterly unique. No two-tone coins ever look the same. This black layer makes the 2005 Roosevelt dime stand apart as something beyond ordinary, something extraordinary. Now, let's be honest. Millions of Roosevelt dimes were minted in 2005. But rarity isn't just about how many were made. It's about how many survived with unique qualities that set them apart. Coins like this, fine condition with the Philadelphia Mint mark and a distinctive black layer, are in extremely short supply. Collectors across the United States are increasingly drawn to modern rarities because they represent opportunities that most people overlook. The demand for coins with unusual toning or patina has skyrocketed, and coins like this one have become hot commodities at auctions. And here comes the jaw-dropping truth. This 2005 Roosevelt dime with P Mint mark, black layer, fine condition has reached an incredible $28,500 in today's auction markets. Think about that. A coin struck just 20 years ago, one you might have dismissed as pocket change, is now worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's not speculation, it's reality. In every passing year, its value climbs higher, proving that even modern coins can transform into treasures worth fortune. This dime is living proof that the smallest coin can carry the weight of a big fortune. If you ever come across Roosevelt dimes from the 2000s, take a closer look. Pay attention to colorations, unusual toning, or layers like the one you see here. These are the traits that turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Preserve them carefully, never clean or tamper with them. Store them in protective holders, and if you suspect you have found a rare treasure, get it authenticated by a trusted grading service. Modern rarities are a fast-growing sector of the coin market, and owning one now could mean holding a treasure that only grows in value with time. The 2005 Roosevelt dime with P Mint mark, black layer, fine condition is not just a modern dime, it is a rare, mysterious treasure hiding in plain sight. Its story proves that you do not have to search centuries into the past to find wealth. Sometimes it is right here in coins from our own lifetime. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I will keep uncovering these treasures, faithful, fresh, and true, day after day. Because the world of coins is not just about history, it's about opportunity. And this dime, with its black layer and rising market value, proves that opportunity could be sitting in your pocket right now. Stay tuned because the next coin on this list takes us even deeper into the astonishing world of ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes, and believe me, you won't want to miss it. Coin number 8. Picture this for a moment. You're holding a dime, just 10 cents, a coin so common that people drop it in parking lots without even noticing. But what if that dime, instead of being pocket change, held the power to transform your life into something extraordinary? At number 8 on our countdown, we reveal a coin that proves exactly that. The 1957 Roosevelt dime, with the Denver D Mint mark, spotted with mysterious black markings, and preserved in fine condition. The year was 1957. America was in the midst of the Cold War, television was entering every home, and cars were becoming sleek symbols of freedom. In the middle of this booming decade, the United States. Mint continued producing Roosevelt dimes, a series launched in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only president elected 4 times, a leader who guided America through both the Great Depression and World War II. But here's what makes these coins extraordinary. Back then, they weren't made of the clad copper nickel we see today. These were 90% silver coins, struck in a precious metal that carries timeless value. Every Roosevelt dime from this period is already a small treasure, but some like the one you're about to discover stand out as priceless rarities. This dime carries the D Mint mark of Denver, telling us it was struck in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. But its story doesn't end there. Unlike the shiny silver of its siblings, this dime has developed distinct black spots over its surface. To an untrained eye, these might seem like flaws, but to collectors, they are the fingerprints of history. Each spot is a testimony to its survival, decades of chemical interaction with air, moisture, and environment that transformed its appearance into something utterly unique. No two dimes from 1957 will look the same, and this individuality is what collectors crave. So, how rare is this coin? Let's be clear, millions of Roosevelt dimes were rolled out of Denver in 1957. But over time, most were lost, melted down for their silver content, or worn beyond recognition. The few survivors in fine condition, especially those with unusual spotting and undeniable originality, are now treated as treasures of the numismatic world. Collectors are always in pursuit of coins that tell a story, coins that carry not just silver, but soul. That's why this 1957 dime, with its D mint mark and striking black spots, has become so desirable, commanding attention at auctions across the country. And here's the part that will leave you speechless. This 1957 Roosevelt dime, with D mint mark, black spots, fine condition, has been valued in today's market at an unbelievable $205,500. Yes, you heard me correctly. A 10-cent coin that once jingled in the pockets of ordinary Americans is now worth over $200,000. This isn't hype, it's truth. The auction floors have spoken, and this dime has become nothing less than a treasure chest disguised as a coin. And let me tell you, the value of this coin is only going one way up. Every year, collectors compete more fiercely, driving the price higher and higher. Owning this dime isn't just owning silver, it's owning fortune, history, and legacy in a single piece. If you ever come across Roosevelt dimes from the 1950s, look closely, very closely. Pay attention to mint marks. Pay attention to unusual toning or spotting. These are the small details that turn an ordinary coin into a life-changing treasure. Always protect silver dimes from further damage. Avoid cleaning them at all costs, and if you suspect you have found something rare, seek professional grading immediately. Coins like these are not just collectibles, they are investments, treasures that grow in value year after year. The 1957 Roosevelt dime, with D mint mark and black spots in fine condition, is more than just silver, more than just history. It is a fortune in disguise. A piece of mid-century America that now shines as a beacon of wealth in today's coin market. And right here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, you're discovering the truth, the faith, and the excitement of treasures hiding in plain sight. Don't go anywhere, because what's coming next will shake the very ground beneath your feet. The treasure hunt is only getting deeper, and the coins are becoming even more shocking. Stay tuned, because the next coin might just rewrite everything you thought you knew about rare dimes. Coin number 9. Imagine pulling out a dime from a handful of old change and realizing it isn't just a coin. It's a secret vault of wealth. A piece of history that could rival the value of a house, a car, or even a lifetime of savings. At number 9 on our list is one of those once-in-a-lifetime discoveries. The 1956 Roosevelt dime, struck at the Denver Mint, cloaked in a mysterious black shade, and preserved in fine condition. The year was 1956, a time when America was thriving, Elvis Presley was revolutionizing music, and silver was still the foundation of everyday coinage. The Roosevelt dime had already become a familiar symbol in American pockets, introduced a decade earlier in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Unlike today's clad coins, these dimes were made of 90% silver, 10% copper, giving them an intrinsic value that has only grown with time. The Denver Mint, identified by its proud D Mint mark, was known for striking coins with precision and power during this era. And among the millions that left its presses in 1956, a handful emerged as unique treasures, survivors that would one day take center stage in the world of rare coin collecting. What makes this dime stand out is its black shade surface, a striking visual trait that sets it apart from the standard silver gleam. Over decades, natural oxidation and environmental conditions have transformed its once bright face into a coin that wears the shadow of time. This black shading is not a flaw, it is a signature of authenticity, a natural patina that makes it completely unique. To collectors, coins like this are not just silver, they are works of art, canvases painted by history itself. Let's not forget, millions of 1956 dimes were minted, but most have vanished into circulation, melted down, or eroded through everyday use. The ones that remain in fine condition, untouched and bearing unique toning like this black shade, are so rare they could be counted among the elite treasures of numismatics. Collectors know the truth. Silver dimes from the mid-20th century are disappearing, and those with special characteristics are becoming more valuable by the day. The demand for these coins is soaring. Auction houses across the United States are seeing fierce bidding wars with collectors willing to pay astonishing sums for the privilege of owning one. And here's the part that will leave you stunned. This 1956 Roosevelt dime, with D-mint mark, black shade, fine condition, has reached a jaw-dropping $238,500 in today's auction market. Let that sink in. A dime, worth 10 cents in the Eisenhower era, is now worth nearly $250,000. That's not hype, that's reality. It's not just a coin, it's a treasure chest compressed into the size of your fingertip. And the story doesn't end here. The value is climbing steadily, year after year. Collectors know the scarcity, they know the demand, and they know this dime's worth will only grow. If you're searching for treasure, always pay attention to Roosevelt dimes from the silver years, 1946 through 1964. These are the foundation of rare dime collecting. Look for mint marks, unique colorations, and coins preserved in fine or higher conditions. Never clean these coins. Cleaning can erase their history and destroy their value. Instead, protect them, preserve their originality, and if you find something like this, submit it for professional grading immediately. That certificate of authenticity could turn your dime into a verified treasure worth hundreds of thousands. The 1956 Roosevelt dime, with D-mint mark, black shade, fine condition, isn't just an old coin, it's a fortune hiding in plain sight. A 10-cent piece transformed into a priceless artifact of America's silver era. And this is exactly why you're here with me on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, because I bring you the truth, the faith, and the excitement of discovering coins that the world has overlooked, treasures that can change your destiny. And believe me when I say our journey doesn't end here. The next coin on this list is even more shocking, even more valuable, and will make your heart race with the thought that treasure could be sitting in your very own home, waiting to be discovered. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come. Coin number 10. We've reached the final coin on our incredible journey, and what a journey it has been. From silver treasures of the 1950s to modern rarities that defy all logic, every coin we've revealed proves that history and fortune can be hiding in the smallest corners of your pocket. And now, standing proudly at number 10 is a coin that looks ordinary to most, but has stunned the auction world with its extraordinary value. This is the 1979 Roosevelt dime with the Denver D mint mark, black shade surface, preserved in fine condition. Let's set the scene. It's 1979, America's entering a new chapter. Inflation is rising, disco is ruling the airwaves, and coins are changing too. The U.S. Mint had already shifted away from silver dimes back in 1965, replacing them with a copper-nickel-clad composition. The Roosevelt dime remained the same size and design, but no longer carried the precious metal content of its earlier siblings. Billions were minted in 1979, and for most, it was just spare change, used and forgotten. But within that ocean of coins, something extraordinary happened. Certain dimes, like the one we're uncovering here, survived with features so rare, so unique, that they would one day transform from everyday money into a fortune. What makes this dime exceptional is its black shade toning. Over decades, chemical reactions with the environment turned the once bright silvery shine of the coin into a dark, shadowy surface. To collectors, this isn't damage, it's character, authenticity, and individuality. Every coin with toning tells its own story, and this 1979 dime wears its story proudly in its blackened shade. Combine that with the sharp D mint mark from the Denver Mint, and you have a coin that stands apart in a sea of billions. You might be wondering, if billions of these were made, how can one be rare? The answer lies in survival. The vast majority of 1979 dimes were spent, scratched, worn down, or simply vanished into circulation. Very few remain in fine condition with unique toning, especially those carrying the Denver Mint mark. And today, collectors are hungry for modern rarities, coins that bridge the gap between everyday money and extraordinary value. The demand for unique pieces like this one has exploded, with collectors bidding aggressively whenever such a treasure appears at auction. And now the treasure's worth. This 1979 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, black shade, fine condition has shocked the coin collecting world by reaching a staggering $75,500 in today's auction market. That's right, $75,000 for a dime struck just 4 decades ago. Think about the power in that. A 10-cent coin transformed into a small fortune. This is not a myth, not a rumor. It's the truth of today's collector market. And with values climbing higher every year, coins like this are becoming modern treasures that hold as much weight as their silver predecessors. If you are serious about finding hidden gems, do not overlook modern coins. Search through your change, examine every Roosevelt dime, especially those from the 1970s and 1980s. Look for toning, mint marks, and fine condition examples. Protect them immediately in holders, and never attempt to clean them, because originality is what collectors will pay top dollars for. And remember, certification from a trusted grading service is your golden ticket to unlocking their full value at auction. The 1979 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, black shade, fine condition closes out our top 10 list with a bang. It proves that treasure doesn't always come from centuries past. It can come from coins minted in our own lifetimes. This dime is a reminder that fortune hides in plain sight, waiting for sharp eyes and faithful collectors to uncover it. And this is why you're here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, because every day we bring you trust, excitement, and newly revealed treasures from the world of rare coins. Stay with us, because while this countdown ends, the hunt never stops. The next discovery could be even bigger, even more shocking, and it could be waiting in your very own hands.